what's going on out of China? Well, right now, I've been talking about for quite some time, China is trying to stir up their economy, all right? Like try to prop it up, just like how the U.S. did for quite some time, but then now they're doing it again. Both countries, it's not just China, both countries. But it does seem like China is a little bit more desperate right now. So they have taken a lot of measures right now to just like, hey, let's just get the money flowing. Let's get everyone to start spending and buying. What does this remind you of? China says it will give one-off cash handouts to people in extreme poverty in a rare announcement of direct aid. Sounds like stimulus checks. Exactly what the U.S. did a few years ago, right? So not only, recently, we know that they have been cutting rates. They have lowered their banking reserve requirements so that the banks can loan out more. They have said that now security products can go borrow money to buy stocks. Now they're giving out handouts. Not only that, and they're injecting 142 billion of capital into banks. You know, what does that mean? Well, that means, yeah, they want their markets to soar, right? This is a massive liquidity event, massive liquidity injection, right? The U.S. is not quite there yet, but if the rate cuts don't do what Fed Chair Powell thinks they will do, then we will be doing the same thing. There will be more drastic measures, more stimulus, more cash injections. But, you know, we're starting out with the rate cuts. Nevertheless, both of our countries, right, we're trying to figure out how to get the liquidity going. And when we have liquidity events like this, generally speaking, very good. Very good for broader markets, for markets all around, for crypto, for all commodities and assets out there, right? So this is still happening, and it's quite good. One of the reasons why I do think that parabolic run is coming. I mean, it all aligns. Everything is aligning, right? So from a macro perspective, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. But of course, there's other things that's happening that contributes to this as well. Yeah. Oh, by the way, take a look at this. So if you think that, you know, liquidity injections don't have anything to do with Bitcoin's rise, well, think again. Look at this. Look at the last few times when Bitcoin went up, right? In 2021, right before that parabolic rise, was right before a liquidity injection, or right after a liquidity injection. In July, when Bitcoin went back up to 69,000, another liquidity injection, right? And earlier this year, or earlier last year, when Bitcoin started moving up to 73,000, guess what? There was another liquidity injection, and there's about to be one right now where we are. So, I mean, just do the math, right? Put two and two together. So liquidity injections are great, especially for Bitcoin. In the U.S., also, we're waiting for that, but, you know, we're going slowly. But today we got some economic data that's pretty good. Okay, I guess it's not worse than expected, not better than expected. GDP is staying at 3%, which is okay. It's not going down any further. And PCE inflation is coming in at 2.8%, so it didn't go lower, didn't go any higher. So basically, bottom line is Fed Chair Powell can continue to do what he's doing, which is cutting rates, and will continue to do so for quite some time, right? The Fed fund rate just was cut by 50 basis points. The next one will be in November. The estimates are another 50 basis point, and then December of 25. So we are on our way. So the remaining of this year, we will get a lot of liquidity injections, and that's what we want to see, right? Right before the Santa rally, right before the elections, and right before the parabolic phase, right? It's all coming. It's all coming. So it's great. What else is there? ETF demand has rebounded in a big way. So whenever you see the institutions start buying up those ETFs, which forces the funds to buy more Bitcoin, that's always good. We have turned positive. Once again, we got these little little brief moments of negative, but we are now in the positive once again. Yesterday was again massive, 105 million inflow, led by guess who? Guess who? I'll give you one guess. Yeah, that's right, BlackRock. Yesterday, BlackRock had a massive 184 million, so they are back. They had a lot of 0 days. They had one, the second negative day was September 9th, but since then they've been 0. Here's one inflow, and then the last few days, 11.5 million, 80 or 99 million, and then 184 million. Larry Fink is like, let's load up right now. And yesterday was interesting because you could see how there was two had massive right here. So Fidelity and I think that's ARK had massive outflows, but BlackRock's like, nah, we're buying. We're going to continue buying. So Larry Fink understands, and many institutions understand. This is the time to be buying ahead of what's coming, right? So if you put two and two together, the massive liquidity injections that'll be coming in China, in the U.S., in everywhere, in Europe too. ECB's cutting rates, Bank of England's cutting rates, Australia's cutting rates, Canada's cutting rates. Everyone is trying to jumpstart their economies with liquidity. That's generally a really good thing for markets, right? So a lot of people are loading up right now. A lot of people are loading up. Like I said, we do have a short-term resistance, 65,000, or you could say 64.8. That's what I just showed you guys, 65,000. But once we break through that, we're back to 70-something thousand in no time, right? The next phase is about, the next level is like 67, and after that, we're in the 70s. So again, we're not that far off. A lot of people tend to be bearish, thinking that we're so far off from our all-time high. We're not. Now the alts, yes, alts have taken a beating more than Bitcoin, but in recent days, we've seen alts come back. That's just generally what happens. Alts come back really fast, but they also dip really fast too. But regardless, that's why you got to have a good balance, right? You got to have that Bitcoin in your portfolio for the strength, for the resiliency, and also because of the graded asset we have. And then you have a little bit of crypto and alts in there too for the hyperbolic growth, but you don't want to go too heavy into it just yet.